Hello, I am Felicia.
And I'm Giancarlo, and this is our preview of
Asteroid Miner.
Yep, check it out. It's gonna go on Kickstarter real soon. Actually, is it already on? It is already on now. So check it out.
In Asteroid Miner, players are controlling a mining company in space, competing with other miners to have the most sales within the year. In the box you'll get a game board, which represents the asteroids you will be mining and all its areas, headquarters for each player with all its different rooms and sections, some colored cubes for each player, employee discs and base tokens of different colors, character and employee cards with different stats on them, ship cards which have cargo hold spots and stats, credit or money chips, and other tokens used in the game. At the end of 12 rounds, the player with the most victory points wins the game.
Here's how to set up. Let's start with the employee deck. Depending on the number of players playing, some cards will be removed from play. This can be seen on the number in the top right corner of each card. Each player now takes a headquarter board with the cubes, discs, and base tokens of one color, 3 basic starting employees, 1 of the unique starting employee at random, and 50 credits. Place your 4 employees on the bottom track of your headquarters with employee discs on them according to their number. Place 2 under construction cards on the 6th and 7th spot on the bottom track of your headquarters. Sort the decks according to their level, shuffle them, and place them next to the board. Reveal some cards from the basic trading ship deck. These are available ships at the start of the game. Finally, let's set up the board. Each player will place 5 cubes on the board. 1 at the start of the victory point track, 1 at the 3 for fleet capacity, 1 on the basic drive technology, and the last one on the player turn order. To determine the player order, the player with the highest total employee number will go last, and then the second will go before last, and so on. Place the turn marker on the first area of the asteroid belt. Finally, check the back of the setup book to see how much ore to place on each asteroid according to the number of players playing. Use the tracker to keep track of how much the asteroid has in ores. You're now ready to start your mining company.
The game is played in 3 phases. First, you can hire employees. This phase is skipped the first round. So for now, let's go to phase 2, employee actions. To perform actions from your employees, you simply take their disc and place it in the relevant area of your HQ depending on which action they are doing. Let's take a look at these actions in detail. You can build a base on an asteroid available to you if it's in the area where the turn marker is. The cost is 10, then 15, then 20. If you pay the cost, place a base of your color there. If you used an employee with the building icon, the price is reduced by his stat. You can also pay the cost to finish your construction in your HQ to make room for new employees. Again, if you used an employee with the building stat, reduce the cost by his stat. You can upgrade your fleet capacity or drive technology by spending 5 research data, which we will explain later. If you use an employee with the upgrade skill, then this cost is reduced.
You can sign a contract, which allows you to place 1 of your cubes on a transport ship and take the credits showing in that box. You can only take 1 row per ship. If you use an employee with the contract symbol, you can place extra cubes on the same row of that ship. You can sell the ore you collected in your HQ storage area for 2 credits and 1 victory point each. If the employee used has the selling stat, you can sell that amount of cubes, and if they have the contract skill as well, you can make that much more credit from each ore sold. You can transport cargo and employees to and from asteroids according to your employee's captain skill and your maximum fleet size. The reason you might want to transport an employee onto an asteroid will be so that he can mine it, which we'll look at later. You can transport ore crates from your bases or headquarters to a ship as long as you open a contract with them. Now keep in mind, we're just showing you the different actions you can do with your employees. We're still not at phase 3. So another action you can do is research. Simply put an employee with the research action to work and you get his stats and cubes into your lab. These are called research data, which are used to upgrade your fleet or drive. You can also sell your research data for 10 credits each. The skill stat for research will tell you how many this employee can sell or research. Finally, you can mine an asteroid. Here you check your miner's mining stat in whichever ore color you mine and reduce the track by 1. The stat will tell you how many cubes you place next to your mining station. During transport, you'll be able to move these onto ships or into storage back at HQ. So now that you know all the actions you can do during phase 2, Let's take a look at the final phase, bureaucracy.
In this final phase, the ships which have at least all their gray boxes filled leave the game, giving victory points and credit to players who have crates there. Depending on the amount of crates there, you will get money and victory points. However, if you do not supply enough to fulfill your contract, you'll lose victory points. Discard all cube and remove the ship from the game. Next, draw new ships from the lowest level deck to replace the ones that left. Do the same for employees. Depending on the number of players, you'll reveal employees which you will be able to hire in phase 1 of next turn. Reset the player order according to the victory points and employee value of each player. And finally, advance the turn marker to the next round in the orbit. The asteroids in orbit during a turn are the only asteroid you can activate, so keep that in mind, unless you have a base on it. Then you can mine it at any time. In phase 1, each player can hire employees as long as they fit in their HQ. When you add employees, adjust your wages track. At the end of your turn, you will pay the employees for the action they took. The more bonuses they do, the more expensive they are. Keep doing these 3 phases for 12 turns, and then see who wins on the victory point track. If you like resource management with some elements of worker placement in a sci-fi space setting, then you need to seriously check out Asteroid Miner. Hope you enjoyed our preview and thanks for watching.
And remember, if you like it, back it.